phone here. And I have taken out a story from Reddit. Reddit, our favorite. And I'll read it to you. Your Jenna Ortega from Flipkart will read it to you. Okay. Keep poised. Keep poised. She's a noble woman. Let's begin. My grandma used to tell me scary stories when I was little. There's one I'll never forget. I was 10 years old when Grandma came to live with us. It was about 6 months after Granddad passed away, and I guess, looking back, she must have been lonely in that big house of theirs, rattling around with only the grief and memories for company. So despite a few protests from Mom, my parents took her in. There were no protests from me, none at all. Grandma was loud and fun. I loved her. She had an almost limitless supply of boiled sweets, and she'd always slip me a couple whenever she saw me. By the way, don't forget I'm Jenna Ortega from Flipkart. She was always the first to stick up for me when I got in trouble. But it was the stories I loved best. Grandma had all kinds of stories. Stories about growing up during World War II. And stories about the things she'd get up to with her friends on the South Coast after her family had been evacuated. That's crazy, man. Sad stories, funny stories, adventure stories. But it was a scary story. That were my favorite. Grandma had lots of scary stories. She told me she dabbled in the occult when she was a teenager, trying out Ouija board with her friends, tarot cards, fortune telling, all that stuff. Shit. Most of the stories I'd laugh off or forget about not long after she was done telling them, but there were a couple that really did spook me a bit. I was only 10 at that time. You have to understand. And Grandma certainly knew how to bring the stories to life. Crazy ass Grandma, crazy ass Grandma. She'd shut off the lights in my room, so only the glow of the night sky shone through the curtains, like Wednesday Addams' mom's eye. And she'd shuffle in real close enough so I could see the wrinkles on her face and smell the boiled sweets on her breath. Close enough so her deep blue eyes could stare straight at me. She must have given me nightmares with a few of those tales. But now, years later, there's only one that I can still remember. Only one that stuck with me. The story about the shower and Mr. Long Fingers. Grandma told me about Mr. Long Fingers one night after I asked her about bats. Grandma used to love her bats. She'd spend ages in them, light candles and incense, and lie in the tub humming to herself until the water turned cold. It drove my mom crazy. But when I asked her why she loved them so much, she said it was the only place she could relax. 'Cause. 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 safe for her to relax. You know, people like me who are, well, more sensitive to certain things, we have to have baths. She told me seriously one night, shuffling clothes in a bed. I couldn't possibly spend that long in the shower. It'd be far too risky. Grandma stared at me with those blue eyes of hers, unsmiling, and I knew it was time for one of her stories. One of the scary ones. I shivered with pleasure and pulled the covers up to my chin. Why is it risky, Grandma? She half turned to look out the window, watching me from the corner of her eye, pausing for effect. I waited, feeling my heart rate pick up ever so gently in my chest. Well, she said after a moment, it's only risky if you close your eyes. Of course, if you close your eyes for longer than 10 seconds. What do you mean? Why? Well, do you ever play that game in the playground with your friends? The ones where someone turns their back and the others sneak up on them when they're not looking. I nodded and Grandma nodded back. Exactly, so that's what it's like in the shower when you have your eyes closed. That's what it's like with Mr. Longfingers. A cold itch tickled back. Who's Mr. Longfingers, Grandma? She let out a deep breath, as if she wished she hadn't said anything. Turn her head back. Oh fuck, I lost her. To face mine when she next spoke, she lowered voice. No one knows exactly, Grandma whispered. Some think it's a creature that's attracted to the heat and smell we give off in there. Others think it's a demon that finds a way into a room through the dense steam clouds. No one can say for sure, because the only ones who have actually seen Mr. Longfingers aren't ever going to be able to tell you. I pulled in a breath. Why not? Grandma shuffled closer along the bed and leaned towards me, leaving my question hanging in the air. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry your pretty head. As long as you remember the rules, you'll be fine. What rules? Don't you worry about it. Well, all you have to do is that when you're in the shower, you try not to close your eyes for too long. 5 seconds is fine. 10 is just about okay too. But any longer than that? Yeah, then what? Well, any longer than that, and you may just start to feel something in the room with you. Something watching, and if you ever go longer than 5 seconds, that's when you might start to hear a noise too. Hear what? The soft of fingers on glass. Fingers strumming against the glass door of the shower. If you do ever hear that noise, God forbid, will you make me a promise? What, Grandma? Promise me you'll never open your eyes. I barely slept that night, hardly at all. I'd close my eyes and try to relax, but every time I did, I'd imagine a face pressed against my bedroom window, staring in at me. And when I did finally get to sleep, I had nightmares. Bad ones. I had them all week. In fact, dreams about disembodied eyes watching me in the dark and long fingers reaching out to touch my exposed skin. It wasn't any better when I was awake. Either, not really. The shower was the worst. That's when Grandma's story really got to me. I'd never thought about it before, but suddenly I had trouble shutting my eyes in there. I'd be standing beneath the beating water, shampoo running down my face. And as soon as I squinted my eyes closed, I hear Grandma's words running through my head. 5 seconds, it's fine, and 10 is just okay too. But any longer than that, I trimmed my hair fast, feeling the shampoo dripping off my chin, and as soon as I'd counted past 5 seconds, I'd feel it. A sort of pressure, not a feeling of being washed exactly, but something close to that. I ran my fingers faster and faster through my hair, frantically trying to get the studs out, and the red blackness behind my closed eyes, coupled with the rush of water in my ears, would feel like a held breath. Like the silence before a scream, the seconds would race through my mind, and I'd be so desperate to open my eyes again that I'd sometimes do it before my hair was rinsed clean and my eyes would sting with the shampoo. But before I shut them again, I'd always be sure to peer out through the stained glass door of the shower cubicle, just to make sure I was still alone. It wasn't long before Mom realized something was up. She heard me crying out in my sleep one night and came in to comfort me, asked me what the matter was, and it all came out. I told her about Grandma's story and about Mr. Longfingers. She got this look on her face when I was telling her, like she used to get me when I'd make her really mad. But nobody knows the full truth. Nobody does, and nobody will. It's between me and Grandma who feel a sense of Mr. Longfingers. Well, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked what I recited, and we can go for more Reddit stories and about the chilling ways of how I speak about it, so that it's cool. We're gonna keep it cool.